Fatso is without question the youngest in charge, taking the hip-hop scene by storm and terrorizing his ops at every chance he gets. Not only is Fatso an EBK Black disciple, but he has mob ties with Lil Durk and the infamous OTF conglomerate. Damn. At only 17 years old, Fatso has accomplished more than most have in a lifetime. And I'll warn you, his success has not been a victimless rise to fame, but more like a lifelong war that has been going on in the streets of Chicago for decades now, with Fatso using his music as an instrument for success as well as to rain havoc on his enemies.
I'm never no bitch, so motherfucking talk crazy. They wanna pull out guns, we gonna pull out guns. I'm gonna drop your little ass. You're not even gonna get the chance to touch this bitch. I heard that scream.
That's crazy. You guys stay on clutch mode like this.
As long as it's not in no cold space where she can't breathe. They like, damn, is you really up? Hey, hey, say fuck Bloodhound! Fuck Bloodhound! Yeah!
Old school, scared for life. Wife.
Fatso grew up around Chicago in an area labeled as the Low Bottoms, on Evans between 46th and 43rd, and attended Carter G. Wilson Elementary School. He has a total of 4 siblings with 3 brothers and 1 little sister. While he moved around with his mom and his stepdad had made a living doing construction, and Fatso, ironically, had gotten his name from being the fat kid on the block growing up, and had always been influenced by his older brother, who we now know as YFG Chalk. Chalk is 2 years older than Fatso, and was living just 8 miles south on 88th and Princeton Avenue, near Chatham, with Fatso traveling down to hang out with his brother frequently. Fatso looked up to Chalk in a lot of ways, but mostly for his ability to create music. Fatso would start to hop in the booth with Chalk and his friends, and would eventually drop his first music video for a song titled Go-Go at only 12 years old. In this video, Fatso is riding Lime scooters with his friends wearing a YFG hoodie, establishing Young Fly Guys as their new crew. And that day, YFG Fatso was born. However, as lighthearted and harmless as he may come off in this video, in his lyrics, he is still talking about hitting the block with 30s and dumping on the ops. Fatso was surrounded by violence and crime, and his contribution would be inevitable over time. After he started making his name as a rapper, he would shift his influence from his brother Chalk to more known figures like King Von, who was a documented killer and ended up being a victim of gun violence himself back in 2020. R.I.P. King Von. However, it was figures like this that would pave the way for the youth coming up in the streets of Chicago, including YFG Fatso. By 13, Fatso says he would really pursue his life of crime, while joining the 808 mob Black Disciples, and saying that he would run through 10 cars in a week at only 13. Damn. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could anyone go through 10 cars in a week? Well, these vehicles are not your usual lease off the lot, but these vehicles are stolen in order to use on drills and robberies. Once the vehicle has been used and potentially caught on surveillance, they dump the vehicle just to find another, and repeat this process over and over again. Fatso became a proud member of the 808 mob, reminding the public that, quote, 808 is stamped in the papers, meaning there are plenty of articles written on the crimes they are involved in. It's around this time, at 13 years old, that Fatso would be arrested and spend 30 days in juvenile.
13, they sliding. 13, bro, I was hitting chicks, playing sports in the streets, bro. Like doing your everyday 13-year-old stuff, bro, playing with your partners and shit. These boys out here trying to slide, steal, call, 2 different environments, you feel me? Because I'm pretty sure if I was in his environment, I'd be doing the same thing he was doing, you feel me? Shit crazy.
Hall. Now, since he was a minor, we are uncertain on what his charges actually were, but based off the stories that he shares, I would guess either a GTA or some sort of gun charge. However, when Fatso was released, he would be ready to showcase his talent for the world and double down on his music career. In 2022, Fatso would drop singles titled Get Stitchy, Gun Up, and Out All Night. And while these songs did well to maintain his career, he still wasn't breaking 100K and reaching those life-changing numbers. But it wasn't until March 2023 when Fatso dropped his first music video on his brand new YouTube channel titled Back Again that he cracked 100K on his YouTube. And in my opinion, this is still one of his hardest songs to date. His name was making noise through the city, and more specifically in the south side of Chicago, Chatham area. It was this video that got Fatso an interview with On a Couch TV, and we would really get an inside look at what YFG was all about. Fatso would go on to say he is EBK Black disciple.
Boy,
And if
like
you think
Bun.
he's a bitch, he would not hesitate to up the pole, especially if you are trying to backdoor him.
Shit, I got that shit, cause shit, it's just, I was around it. Product my vibe, I'm seeing the shit, I'm in the shit. I'm always with a motherfucker who game back. I always doing some badass shit. Like they tell you I'm the youngest, I always be bad as hell. Man, I'm always doing some badass shit for it, so it's like,
I ain't
that
nothing
shit
to go
just
for a
came to
brag
me,
about,
shit,
fam.
motherfucker. I'm never no bitch, so motherfucker talk crazy, alright. They want to fight, we can fight. They want to pull out guns, we gonna pull out guns. When I got this shit, I stood like, oh, seeing instant. Motherfucker ain't even gonna play. It was going, you know.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, like, he the youngest jit, it's like, he's so fucking hot, but he's slow and dumb at the same time, like,
BD, I'm BD. But look, don't get it twisted.
I like how them boys got their face covered up, what you supposed to do.
I'm a BD shit.
Bro, we ain't fucking BD.
I'm EBK BD. Fuck, cause I'm gonna clap anybody, but I'm BD.
I ain't ever said GDK all life. Niggas be weird, man.
I'm EBK BD for. I ain't say BD. I'm saying I'm EBK BD for. I'm BD.
BDK for the BDs, that's us.
So you know who play.
After this interview dropped, Fatso knew that he needed to capitalize on this momentum while dropping 9 music videos over 9 months, which have collectively accumulated over 8 million views to date. Just those 9 music videos alone. Not to mention, within this time, Fatso would also drop his first official tape titled No Privacy. Now, we have seen time and time again in these documentaries how as soon as a rapper gets to a certain level of fame, he becomes a target for the ops. And in this case, Fatso was on IG Live provoking his ops, saying that if they would try to take his chain, he would drop their ass, while the ops in the comments would accept the challenge by saying drop the low.
ABK, y'all goofy, y'all keep talking. I mean, this bitch might look good on you, but it ain't never gonna look good on you if you don't get the chance to wear it. It'll never look good on you. If you don't get the chance to wear it, it's not gonna look good on you. Okay? As soon as you reach and touch this bitch, I'm gonna drop your little ass. You're not even gonna get the chance to touch this bitch.
Damn, telling you don't play with him.
If I tell them spam me, they gonna spam me. Y'all wanna start that in the comments? Alright. Hey. Everybody in my comments, hashtag fuck top right now. Chill out, bro.
Now, clearly, Fatso is not to be tested. However, I don't think that 800 TJ agreed because he would also get into a beef with Fatso. But this time, Fatso would be seen on IG Live actually driving down to 800 TJ's block, flashing switches and a Draco. Then, the very next day, 800 TJ would post to his story photos of him on the corner of 88th and Princeton Avenue with the caption YFGK, which stands for YFG Killer, and seems to romanticize the idea of gaining a new fatal enemy. Thankfully, nothing would come from this incident because soon, Fatso's life was about to change forever. Lil Durk, one of Chicago's biggest artists, won a Grammy for Best Melodic Rap Performance with his hit single All My Life featuring J. Cole at the 2024 Grammy Awards ceremony. Shortly after, Fatso would be seen counting money on his IG Live with the one and only smirk. Now, if there is one thing that Fatso knows how to do, is capitalize on his opportunities. He is one smart kid. That being said, with all this Lil Durk clout around him, Fatso drops Princeton Freestyle featuring DCG, which has over 3.5 million views today. And of course,
that's smart.
Wouldn't stop there. Smart. Lil Durk would then post on IG that he would officially welcome Chucky, Lil King, and Fatso to OTF. Smart. And would even go as far as to tag his jeweler to ask him for 3 big-ass chains to be made for his new signees. Fatso was going everywhere with Durk at this point, flexing jewelry, meeting with the label, and even cruising on his private jet playing spades. And you know that Fatso would have a single locked and loaded for the streets while dropping a visual to Reap the City, which Reap the City has almost 2 million views also. This kid is a hit-making machine. But unfortunately, this force would come to a halt in March 2024 when Fatso would be arrested for a second time for an alleged shooting. However, I'm sure there are a few issues that the OTF lawyers cannot undo. Because within about a week, Fatso was back on the streets again, flexing cash and posting the dead bodies of his ops from rival gangs BVC and Ducktown.
That's crazy.
I won't show these images due to how graphic this scene is, and surprisingly, Fatso would post this image to his IG story with a caption laughing at the death of these 2 men. Let me also remind you, this is the same day he was released for another alleged shooting. He would also be seen on another IG Live saying he's the littest 16-year-old in Chicago while lighting up a backwood.
They can't believe I'm 16.
No, my boo leave me.
His rollout would seem to work though, because in April 2024, Fatso drops 2 singles titled Racing and Who I Am, which collectively have over 2.5 million views. Not to mention, I don't think this zesty endorsement by Meek Mill in the grips of his Diddy scandal had done anything for Fatso, but it happened. Shortly after this, the infamous Bloodhound Lil Jeff would post an image of Fatso to his story with the caption, Rookie of the Year, insinuating that Fatso was a baby and does not seem to pose a threat to the Bloodhounds. After this post, Lil Scoom, a close friend to Lil Jeff, would also get involved, dropping a diss track toward Fatso, which would declare war.
I ain't gonna troll that shit for kids, but I really heard they hard. Fatso a bitch, he ain't no shit, little boy better play his part. Right back to back in them foreign cars and all these put your scars. Go ask the ops that Michael Dre 6'2" put shit in park.
The next day, Fatso could be seen on IG Live, ready to slide, while his ops in the comments were suggesting that Fatso head over to the E&L store in the ops side of town, which of course, Fatso would accept this challenge. To blow some steam, Fatso would head over to the jeweler to drop some racks on more diamonds for all of his hard work he's been putting in. And I did think this clip was a little bit odd when Fatso runs to a nearby trash can because he had to throw up. When he returns, he tells his filmer that he has a condition that makes him throw up after each meal.
I'm a different nigga now, folks.
Damn.
He playing. You finna throw up? What the fuck?
I can't eat without throwing up. That's another story for another day. Not gonna get out of the story in there. Since I've been like a kid, like a baby, like when I'm born toucher, everything I eat, I throw back up. So I'm never full.
Now, I'm not an expert and not sure what this is called, but maybe you guys can help me figure this out in the comments. However, the next day, Fatso would post a caption reading, Tonight we sniff. And that can only mean one thing. But for real, bro would prove us right when he was on IG Live at 8 a.m. the following morning, ready to walk down on an op after breakfast.
I'm Reaper. I'm Big Reap. I am Reap. Big D Reap. Die Reap. You hear me? T-H-Y, not D-I-E. So I'm put a Reaper on my motherfucking hand. I heard that tire marks. Tire streaks, clearing the streaks. They about to turn down right block. Don't turn down this one way. There's one way in, one way out. The way in through the front. The way out is heavy. Yeah. On his knocking.
Nah, bro. Hey, get out, they like that. You see him?
What?
All the way down there.
12. Tweaking. The Jakes be on that.
They play that power. One thing to do.
Probably there you go right there. We good.
2 weeks after this incident, Fatso's op, Bloodhound Lil Jeff, would be gunned down in cold blood on June 8th, 2024. R.I.P. Lil Jeff. It didn't take long for Fatso to then post subliminal messages to his IG story reading, Speaking on me in vain, I won't respond. They dead though. All of them. Y'all be worried about the wrong shit. I still don't respond to dudes. It's unclear who this is directed towards. However, the timing is a bit coincidental. Fatso would continue to drop more hits with titles Leavin' and Ride With Me, collectively garnering over 3.5 million views, which at this point, 1 million views is a standard for YFG Fatso, which would serve him well given that on Father's Day, Fatso would become a father himself after his daughter would be born on June 16th, 2024.
I'm a new father on Father's Day. That's my favorite, but y'all can't see. How much that is?
That's crazy.
Hey, baby. I can't see my daughter's face. Where you going, baby? You're pretty, baby.
Now, a 16-year-old having a child is one thing. However, it turns out that his baby mama Lachey, well, she ended up being 22 years old. Fatso has been asked about this topic, and he says that he's not a victim in this situation. In fact, far from it. So I guess we'll just have to take his word on this one. But all jokes aside, days later, Fatso would post this alarming message saying, unaliving myself after I get super rich. I have no idea what he could possibly mean by this. Hopefully he means figuratively, of course, but maybe you guys can help me understand this in the comments as well. Following Lil Jeff's passing, the beef between Fatso and Lil Scoom would continue to boil, as both sides would continue to drop diss tracks at each other back to back. With this beef cooking up over about 2 weeks, Chicago would get the news that on July 7th, 2024, Lil Scoom would also be gunned down. R.I.P. Lil Scoom. Damn. The next day, Fatso would take to his IG to diss Lil Scoom with the caption, "Every last motherfucker," and also posting a picture of the Scream mask and the song Smooth Criminal behind it. Fatso would also go live with his comrades to further mock Lil Scoom.